You're welcome. Tonight, Brian and Becky and Clinton are getting together to celebrate the solstice. Something that goes back in history some 10,000 years before Christ. In Scotland and Ireland and England, we have proof that people got together on this night to ask for the light to come back, to ask for winter not to be so harsh, and also to embrace the darkness. It was a time of rest, it was a time of peace, as well as a time of fear. In many, many cultures, they had feasts on this night, and strange drinking things like corn beer and mash, which Ryan can tell you about later. But for most of the world, it was a time to get together and reminisce, a time to get together and be community, a time to get together and light fires to remind us that we are in the darkest time. And for us who have had a long, dark year, this is the darkest it's going to get. There's a poem that I probably can't read to you, but I'm going to anyway because the light's not that great. But it's a beautiful poem. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Spencer. It's written by Philip Palmer, and it's a chant often sung by the Universalist Unitarians. It says, "Children of the earth, we have come to sing to each other, sister to brother, songs of our mother, earth. Children of the earth, autumn soon will breathe her last breath, and quick will hear death bear witness to winter's birth. Children of the earth, can you feel the air getting cold as darkness takes hold and sleep covers Mother Earth? Children of the earth, we have come to sit in the darkness, breathe in the silence, and think of our Mother Earth."
Now I'm going to share a story with us. Nope, if I turn the page through. It is a story of the rebirth of the sun by Starhawk. Circle around, and I'll tell you a story about when the sun was born again. It was the middle of the winter, and the sun had grown very old. All year long, the sun had worked very hard, rising and setting day after day. All year long, the sun had fed everybody on earth, shining and shining, giving energy to the trees and the flowers and the grasses so that they could grow and feed the animals and the birds and the insects and the people. All year, the sun's gravity held tight to the spinning ball of the earth and the twirling ball of the moon and the 8 other whirling planets as they traveled around and around and around, until the poor sun was dizzy watching it all. Now the poor, tired sun could barely make it up in the morning, and after a very short time, needed to sleep again. So the days grew shorter, and the nights grew longer, until the day was so short, it was hardly worth getting up. Mother Night felt sorry for the sun. Mother Night said, "Come to my arms and rest, child. After all, I am your mother. You were born out of darkness, billions of years ago, and you will return to me when all things end. Let me cradle you now as I shelter every galaxy and star in the universe." So Mother Night wrapped her great arms around the sun, and the night was very long indeed. "Why does the dark go on so long?" asked children all over the earth. "Won't the sun ever come back?" "The sun is very tired," the old one said, "but maybe if you children say thank you for all the things the sun does, the light may return in the morning." The children sang songs to the sun. They thought about all the things the sun gave them. "Thank you for growing the lettuce and the corn and the rice and the wheat," they said. "Thank you for growing the trees of the forest and the seaweed and the oceans and the krill that feeds the whales. Thank you for the stirring the air and making winds that bring the rain." Every time a child said thank you, The sun began to feel a little warmer, a little brighter. Wrapped safely in the arms of night, the sun grew younger and younger. At last, the children had to go to bed. "We will stay up and wait for the sun to rise again," the old ones said. "Can we stay up too?" the children asked. "You can try, but you will get too sleepy," the old ones said. "But you can each light a candle, because all fire is a spark of the sun's fire. Put your candle in a safe place and keep it to vigil for you as you sleep and dream of sunrise." So the children lit their candles and put them in their very safe places, and each flame was a little spark of the sun's fire. And the sun peeped out from between the arms of night and saw all the little fires and began to feel warmer and brighter and younger still. Early in the morning, the old ones woke the children. Together they climbed a high hill and faced to the east, the direction of sunrise. They sang songs to the sun and ran around trying to keep warm. They waited and waited to see what dawn would bring. The sun began to turn from black to indigo to blue. Slowly the sky grew light. A golden glow crept over the horizon. Night opened her great arms, and in a burst of brightness, the sun appeared, new and strong and shining. For in the long night, the sun had rested well and grown young from the songs and the thanks of the children, young as a brand new baby, born out of night once more. Everybody cheered, and the children jumped up and down. "The sun has returned! The sun is reborn!" People cried, and they danced and sang to celebrate the birth of a new day. And they went home to breakfast.
That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that it's the children that usher the sun. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
And yet, I think that what's remarkable for me in that is the children aren't afraid of the dark at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I was thinking about that tonight. Like when you were a kid, were you afraid of the dark or did you embrace the dark? Did you think it was cool for the dark or did you sleep with a nightlight?
I remember liking the dark. I wanted to be in the dark.
Spencer?
I did not like the dark. But I also shared a room with an older brother that, didn't make it very fun either. So, yeah.
Ryan?
There were different times in my life. For a while I didn't like the dark, but as I grew up, being on the farm, complete darkness at night, pitch black, so no night light in your bedroom or anything, but I think over time it grew on me, and I was really starting to love the darkness that being out in the country really loud.
And I think I was the kid like that who did not like the dark at all as a child. First 5 years, couldn't sleep without the nightlight on. And then like a switch went off and I realized how cool it was at nighttime and loved it. And then got really annoyed when people have too much light and too many light bulbs in their house and spotlights. Because I like the dark. I love the dark. But it was actually like around 5 or 6 where this switch, so to speak, flipped, and I went from being afraid of the dark into loving the dark. It's peaceful and it's restful, and I love that. Wow.
Agreed.
So our fire has turned to embers already. That's pretty cool. You guys have a song for us?
We do. We have a song. It is a chilly night. Grab a warm beverage, or you could get a chicha. I mean, that would be the ancient beer if you wanted to ever try it.
No, I will never try it. It's gross.
Well,
Corn is meant for bourbon, not for beer.
make this work. Fingers aren't. Most of them too. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. Our God transcends all heaven, earth and its domain. Heaven and earth shall flee away when Christ comes to reign. In the bleak midwinter, a stable place sufficed. The sovereign God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Angels and archangels may have gathered there. Cherubim and seraphim throng the midnight air. But his mother only in her maiden bliss worship the beloved with a kiss. What can I offer, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. But what I can I offer? All my heart.
Thank you for joining us for our Winter Solstice. Thank you for embracing us in the dark and looking toward the light. And thank you for just being here. God bless. Spencer, did you bring the marshmallows?
I didn't.